wanafunzi.
Anne Wairimu is our sign language interpreter. TV47 News Tonight with me, Abu Bakar Abdullahi, begins right now. Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. Now, a 51-year-old man in Kirinyaga County has pleaded guilty of impregnating his two teen daughters. John Gishira, who is also a pastor, was arraigned before a Kirinyaga court and will remain in custody for 2 more days. Joan Maina begins our broadcast tonight.
A father suspected to have impregnated his 2 teenagers in Ndia, Kirinyaga County, has pleaded guilty to the offenses before a Farisho law court. John Geshira Geshini, aged 51, pleaded to the 2 counts of defiling and impregnating his 2 daughters, aged 16 and 14 years respectively, before Senior Principal Magistrate Anthony Mweshigi. According to the charge sheet read before the court, the suspect is believed to have committed the first offense in diverse dates between 1st and 30th of June 2019, and the second offense was committed between 1st and 31st August 2020 in Kenyakiru village in Ndia constituency. The magistrate directed the suspect to be remanded until January 7th to allow the police to confirm the actual ages of the victims. Joan Maina, TV47.
The government says it has disbursed more than 18 billion shillings to both primary and secondary schools following the schools reopening for the second term yesterday. The government, however, is warning tonight school heads against misusing the funds. And as Musa Salah now reports, teachers are, however, still complaining that the funds are yet to hit the school's accounts.
But you can maintain some.
As learners continue to flock their respective schools for their second term that was disrupted by the coronavirus pandemic in March last year, some schools are already overcrowded.
Lord of all glory.
Speaking at Kianjao Primary School in Thika, Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha has warned school heads against admitting students if there are no slots for new students, giving the case of Olympic Primary School, which has a population of more than 4,700 pupils.
There were hundreds of children outside the gates. My most humble self told the head teacher not to admit them, because at Ayani, which is not very far from there are empty spaces. At Toi Primary School, there are empty spaces. They don't want to go there. Before you bring the question back to us, help us to solve it, because you can. We said we shall admit you according to our own guidelines.
However, the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers KUPPET chairperson Omboko Milemba wants the Education Ministry to disburse enough funds to schools, claiming that operations have been crippled in schools, with the union giving the government a 2-day ultimatum to disburse the funds or risk a teacher strike.
Kwa hawa walimu wamefungua mashule jana na hawana senti za FPE katika mashule yao. Wale wa secondary pia hawana zile funding ama capitation ya wanafunzi. Kwa hivyo serikali ifike Friday wiki hii kama tayari wametuma hizi pesa katika mashule zetu.
Professor Magoha claims that the government has disbursed over 18 billion shillings to both primary and secondary schools, further warning school principals against misusing the funds.
I want to say that even though I had said earlier, it is only the primary school 4 billion that will be released by yesterday. Because of His Excellency the President's intervention, even the secondary schools 14.6 billion were also released yesterday. So the money was released simultaneously, depending on which bank. Please use this money for what it is meant for. This time, we want to thank God that we are alive. I have no plans to make any extra money this year.
School heads have also been warned against sending students home for failing to pay school fees and school development funds.
I've been told that children are being sent away because of development money. Please, if you have any detail of any teacher who is bold enough to return our children home because of development money, give us that information and we shall act very swiftly.
So we've explained to teachers to probably have a case-by-case conversation with the children and their parents, and get some understanding in terms of how they will pay those fees. And we're also appealing to the parents not to abandon the school completely.
Parents have also been commended for heeding the government's directive to have their children report back to school. Parents have also been urged not to hide pregnant or teen mothers.
Tumeshukuru sana watoto wetu na wazazi wale ambao wameleta watoto kwa kuitikia wito wetu kama serikali ya kuleta watoto leo. Unajua, sisi tulikuwa na mizigo mikubwa sana kama wazazi na serikali kwa sababu watoto wetu ambao hawana uwezo tumewaweka nyumbani.
The girls who probably must have been victim of early pregnancy, and those probably must have given birth. So for us, there's no excuse to keep them at home. We are ready to receive them. We are working with the chiefs and assistant chiefs to track them within their households.
Na waomba, leteni watoto shuleni. Wale wamebaki kwa sababu moja ama nyingine, kama watoto wamepata mimba wasichana, na waomba, sisi tumesema hao ndio tuko na haja nao sana, kwa sababu mimba sio sababu ya kutatiza mtoto mwanamke kusimama masomo.
As many students commence learning under trees as one of the ways to enforce social distancing in schools, learning activities may be halted once more when it rains. Musa Salah, TV47.
Still on matters education, and at least 5 schools are yet to reopen in Tiaty constituency, Baringo County, since many learners are either already married or undergoing circumcision. Our reporter John Minor reports of an area that is already hard hit by shortage of teachers.
Learning activities in Nalekat, Kongor, Sugut, Nasorot and Nanat primary schools in Tiaty, Baringo County are yet to resume as the reopening of schools enters day 2. This challenge is compounded by shortage of teachers in the area and the ongoing boys' circumcision, while those schools that were already opened witnessed low student turnout.
Retrogressive cultural activities affects learning because when this happens, like last year, July, I heard of several boys who attended Savannah ceremony, and among them were class 8 pupils who never turned up for their studies last term.
At Cheptunoyo Primary School, boys in upper classes did not attend school, while others opted to marry and start their families. According to the school principal, Christine Keter, the retrogressive culture in the community has affected learning. In Nakoko Primary School, teachers were present with only 12 pupils in lower classes out of a total of 300 pupils.
One of the boys, I was told, got married. One girl was pregnant. She never reported to school and has not come back now. I hope she will be back as soon as she delivers.
So far the school has an enrollment of about 290 learners, but up to date we have 37 who have reported.
Tiaty Deputy County Commissioner Jackton Orieng says the culture aspect has derailed the reopening of schools, with chiefs now tasked to forcefully take all learners to school.
And we have instructed all the chiefs on the ground to physically fish out the pupils and make sure that they go back to school.
Joan Minor, TV47.
Elsewhere, after President Uhuru Kenyatta launched the 650,000 desks project for both primary and secondary schools, which aimed at enhancing social distancing as well as economically cushioning the Juakali sector, 3 months down the line, and the contractors claim they have not received even a single penny despite supplying the desks. Mike Kagwongo reports.
James Kuria from Gatodo South was privileged to supply 4 schools with desks, but despite of him acquiring a loan to facilitate his business, he has not received even the 50% promised to them by the government. And now his car is at stake following an auction letter he was issued with.
So vile tulipata hiyo kazi, tuliambiwa tugoje tutapewa 50% ya kwanza hiyo kazi, na vile tuliambiwa tugoje 50%. Sisi vile tulipata kazi na hiyo makaratasi ya tukulala. Tulitia bidii na kila mtu uchukue ile kitu alikuwa naye, tukiona my partner, tukasanya pamoja, tukakibia kwa watu wa chuma, kwa watu ambao tukanunua those materials. Na ndio tulimanage hata kumaliza shule kama Kemonyo Primary juu tulikuwa tumenunua kila kitu.
3 months since the project was launched, some of the contractors are living in agony with no pay despite the fact that they played their part. James Kuria, a contractor from Kemonyo in Gatodo South, says he acquired a loan to facilitate the exercise.
Tulienda tukakopa hizo block board mahali moja hapa chini panaitwa Maram kwa duka moja, na tukapewa block board za dhamana ya 29,000. Imefika ni mahali paka kupita hapo ni shida, tunajificha juu maagano yetu na wao ilikuwa tutawalipa kwa haraka vile tulikuwa tumeahidiwa. Cabinet secretary akija, things will start rolling out, so hakuna kitu ilifanyika.
Kuria says that he hoped to use the 50% they were promised to repay the loan, but since the government reneged on its promise, with him now is a letter to auction his car which he offered as collateral.
Na ikawa hata tu ilifika mahali nikapeleka hata logbook yangu ya gari yenye haina ndeni ya mtu ama ya kampuni fulani ama ya bank, nikapeleka mahali nikapewa pesa. Juzi tu tunapoanza Christmas nilipewa barua na watu kuniambia wanakuja kuchukua hiyo gari juu ya hiyo kazi.
He says he's only left with pieces of wood and metals which he had prepared in readiness to complete the remaining desk, and he has no money to pay his workers.
Ombi langu na lile tunalilia president wetu tunampenda Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta ni atuilie radhi, tupewe pesa ya kumaliza hii kandarasi, sababu vitu tuko nazo na ziko kwa workshop, hizo materials zote. The only kitu yenye tunakosa ni pesa ya kulipa watu wenye wanatufanyia kazi.
However, Education CS George Magoha, while on an inspection tour at Kiajao Primary School in Kiadutu, apologized over the delay, assuring that already the government has released 40 million shillings to pay the contractors.
We had 40 million shillings lined up to be paid, and we worked until 11:30 in the night. And if you ask some of them, you may find that some of them will tell you they were paid by 11:30 last night. It is true that there could have been some delay, but the government wants to be extremely sure. The money is there. We have refused to use our normal system. Do you get the point? We want the money to go directly to the M-Pesa of the contractor.
For TV47, I'm Mike Kagwango.
Moving on, Anne Kananu Mwenda could be the next Nairobi County Governor after a Nairobi voter who had challenged her nomination as the county's deputy governor filed a notice to withdraw the case. This comes a day after the court suspended the forthcoming by-election following a case that was filed by former Governor Mike Sonko. David Mudhoka reports.
The shoes left by impeached Nairobi Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko could be filled sooner rather than later after Peter Odhiambo Agoro, a Nairobi voter who had challenged Anne Kananu Mwenda's appointment by Sonko as Nairobi Deputy Governor, filed a notice at the High Court seeking to withdraw the petition on Tuesday. The notice to withdraw the petition, in which the petitioner had sought to know whether Sonko had the powers to nominate a deputy governor at a time when he had been barred from accessing his offices owing to a criminal suit against him, has since been acknowledged by the High Court.
Do hereby nominate to the position of deputy governor.
Once effected, the withdrawal of the petition is expected to set in motion a series of events, including the vetting of Kananu by the Nairobi County Assembly for position of Nairobi City County Deputy Governor, a subsequent swearing in as Nairobi's Deputy Governor if the vetting goes her way, followed by another swearing in as Sonko's replacement. This will mean that Nairobi might have to forfeit the ballot to elect a new governor, despite the already halted mini polls, attracting several aspirants, among them controversial exiled lawyer Miguna, as well as former Dagoretti South MP and Building Bridges Initiative co-chairman Dennis Waweru, and Nairobi-based preacher Margaret Wanjiru, who declared her interest on Monday. The mini polls that had been scheduled for 18th February were put on hold after the High Court barred IEBC from conducting a by-election in Nairobi until the hearing of a case in which Sonko is challenging his ouster and seeking reinstatement as Nairobi governor is heard undetermined. Justice Anthony Murima suspended the election on the basis that he cannot allow the by-election to continue while there is an ongoing suit challenging the impeachment of Sonko as the Nairobi governor. The judge ruled that the by-election is temporarily suspended pending the hearing and determination of the application by Sonko. The case will be mentioned on January 14th for hearing of the application. Nairobi County has been under the watch of City Hall Speaker Benson Mutura, who was sworn in as Nairobi governor in an acting capacity last month for 60 days to pave the way for transition in the city's top leadership. David Muthoka, TV47.
You're watching TV47 News Tonight with me, Abu Bakar Abdullahi. Keep talking to us. Your voice counts. Your opinion matters. Send us a message on 22047. Leave us a comment on our social media platforms. Lucy Muiruri says, watching from Zimmerman. Paul, watching from Kitale. Danson says, a dangerous father. Augustine says, watching from Bungoma County. Kelvin Karanta says, Abdullahi Tukoloked in Nyandarua County. Time for us to take a short break. We'll be back with more after this break. Stay tuned.
What's the perfect way to kickstart your day in the morning? Well, apart from having a healthy breakfast, the Morning Cafe is all you need. We will inform you on what's happening on
they put the producers, the suppliers, and the people who are using it together. Right now, if you go to any hospital, Marara, Marsabit, Lamu, all the hospitals, everywhere, everybody's got this.
Equity. Did you know that your greatest wealth is health? We get down in
Plaza Beach Hotel.
Education matters.
We are located along the tranquil Bamburi Beach, 10 kilometers from Mombasa. Plaza Beach Hotel offers an outdoor pool, terrace, and tropical garden. We specialize in accommodation, conferencing, church retreats, corporate team building activities, and ear parties, massage parlor and spa services, and water sports activities. For booking and reservation, contact us on 0723 661 008 or email us at sales@plazabeach.co.ke or visit our website at www.plazabeach.co.ke. Welcome to Plaza Beach Hotel. Relax and let the breeze from the Indian Ocean massage your skin as you anchor deep in your swimming pool and experience authentic Kenyan hospitality. Plaza Beach.
Get ready to crank up the high fives and get your smile on, cause all of our DSTV customers from Compact Plus all the way to Access are getting 50% off Showmax when you add it to your DSTV account.
That is definitely what I want.
That's right, you get all of Showmax's incredible movies,
Plenty.
local and international series, and kids shows.
Genius.
At only half the cost, because the other half's on us. And what's more, they're all on demand, meaning you can watch when you want, wherever you want. To add, just download the My DSTV app, select Showmax on us, followed by Activate Now. It's that simple. Get all the binge at half the price, with thanks from all of us at DSTV.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
All this on the exciting episodes of Plania series.
Looking for the smoothest writing pen with an excellent grip and long-lasting ink? Kaluma Pen is all that and more.
This is a story of Robbie.
Write your own success with Kaluma Pen.
Abel is a humble border operator struggling to make it in the slums.
You're watching your channel of choice, the County's Television. Thank you for staying with us. Let's get to more news now. And the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers has issued the Council of Governors a 48-hour strike notice to uphold the return to work formula, or else they resume their nationwide strike. The clinical officers are accusing the county bosses of ignoring the signed deal between them and the national government. Our health reporter Zainab Mohammed with the details.
Barely 4 days since the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers signed a turn-to-work formula with the Ministry of Health and ended their strike, things are seemingly not so rosy after all, as the union has now issued the Council of Governors a 48-hour notice to uphold the return-to-work formula or else a resumption of their strike.
The agreed return-to-work formula be fully signed in the next 48 hours to allow continuity of service delivery in our public sector, failure to which we shall go by the COG resolution that the return to work formula does not apply to them and shall resume strike without any further notice.
According to the unionists, a letter by COG on Monday evening totally goes against the formula, as the COG now claims the health workers need to deal with their individual county governments for a working return to work formula. The unionists are further blaming the government for trying to frustrate the health workers by taking them back and forth when it comes to fulfilling their demands.
Tukapokea maelezo ama barua kutoka kwa Council of Governors kwa waziri wa afya, wakiweza kuelezea kwamba wao hawajahusishwa na kwamba wanajitenga na ule mkataba wa jumla ambao tuliweza kutia sahihi tarehe 1. Na kile tungetaka kusema ni kwamba ni vizuri tuambiane ukweli kama Wakenya. Na ukweli ni kwamba hawa watu walikuwa kwa meza kutoka mwanzo hadi wakati tulipoweza kuafikiana, na wakati tulikuwa tunatia sahihi walikuwa wameweza wakaelezwa na wakaweza kusema kwamba ilikuwa ni sawa tungeendelea kusahihisha, alafu nao wangekuja kusahihisha baadaye.
This even as the Kenya National Union of Nurses KNUN announces the possibility of a white smoke 30 days into their strike. The union that had a meeting with the Ministry of Labour Tuesday evening says most of their demands have been met and that their strike could be terminated soon.
A very productive meeting this afternoon with the two levels of government, and I can authoritatively say that we might have a white smoke tomorrow. We have literally covered everything. What is left is something very small that the government has to consult within itself today, and maybe probably tomorrow there will be consensus within government, and we can pen and paper can meet tomorrow, and our members can go back to work.
And in Mombasa County, health workers have come out to join the rest of the workers across the country to blame county bosses for not upholding the return to work formula signed on the 1st of January. The workers now threaten to go back on strike should the government fail to honor their end of the bargain.
This is a typically cynical of what the government is,
And basically they intend to actually not to address the issues that we raised before the government. Issues to compensate our colleagues who have succumbed. It's not a matter that you can discuss for a period of more than 1 month. And this is an issue that is in law and it needs to be addressed collectively between the national government and the Council of Governors. And when the Council of Governors actually withdraws or delinks itself from the negotiations that were ongoing and which they were party to, it tells us a lot.
Zainab Mohammed, TV47.
Let's get to some politics now, and a letter by Senate Majority Whip Irungu Kang'ata to President Uhuru Kenyatta on the popularity of the BBI in the Mount Kenya region has elicited a heated debate across the political divide. BBI proponents are already pushing for Kang'ata's removal as the Majority Whip in the Senate. Joash Onsare reports.
A letter by Murang'a Senator Irungu Kang'ata to President Uhuru Kenyatta on the popularity of the BBI in the Mount Kenya region continues to elicit mixed reaction. A section of leaders led by Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua terming the move by Kang'ata as courageous for vocalizing the whispers that have been going on due to propaganda by BBI opposers, adding that he supports the BBI and President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy.
Senator Irungu Kang'ata, who has written a letter to the President about the BBI, should not be vilified or condemned. Rather, he should be honored, respected, and given a pat on the back for actually supporting the BBI.
Tukuwe na priority, na hiyo ndio sababu yenye unaona watu wa Mount Kenya hawataki kusikia BBI kwa wakati huu. Juu hata kopi zenyewe hawajawahi ona. Kwa hivyo hata wajasoma, wajui ni nini wanaambiwa wapitishe. Kwa hivyo Kang'ata amesema maneno iko hivyo.
However, a section of BBI supporters are now proposing for the removal of Kang'ata as the Majority Whip in the Senate. Nyeri Town Member of Parliament Ngujiri Wambugu says Kang'ata is looking for an excuse to be fired from the seat and join Tanga Tanga in full force.
Kang'ata doesn't deserve to be the majority leader of the Jubilee Party in Senate. But I also think that he's looking for an excuse to get fired so that he can now say he was fired because he said the truth. So we first need to prove to him that what he said is not true. And then he can get fired. I would like him to be fired after BBI, after the BBI. Once BBI passes and it succeeds and we give a 70%, 80%, 90% return in Mount Kenya, we fire Kang'ata.
Former majority leader in the Senate and Elgeyo Marakwet Senator Kipchumba Murkomen says if the Jubilee will call a meeting to remove Kang'ata, his majority whip position, he will oppose the move. In a bold and hard-hitting letter to President Uhuru Kenyatta, Kang'ata authoritatively told President Uhuru Kenyatta that his brainchild of leaving behind a united country through the BBI process is starting at an imminent, humiliating defeat in the president's backyard, Mount Kenya region. Senator Kang'ata confided to the president that only 2 people out of every 10 people support the BBI, whereas 6 are opposed to the process. Kang'ata has since acknowledged writing the letter but says it was only leaked to the media by other people copied in the letter. A section of elders from Nakuru have also condemned Senator Kang'ata, saying they are just his opinions.
Sijui ulifanya utafiti mgani ama research yako ilikuwa upande gani ukianza kusema Mount Kenya wote. Wewe kwako ni Murang'a na mimi nimekuwa Murang'a juzi, watu ya Murang'a wanaunga mkono.
Na maoni ya Kang'ata sio maoni yetu. BBI ina wafuasi na ni wengi.
Joash Onsare, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Josh Onsare, for that report. Keep talking to us. We are taking another short break. Don't go too far. We'll be back with more news after this break.
It's been an amazing year in the kitchen here on The Throwdown. We brought you ugali and brown fish by Sophia. Tasty butter chicken. we bring you bigger and better from more mouth-watering meals.
At Tricent School of Medical Health, Science and Technology, we offer highly competitive courses tailor-made to suit your needs. These include certificate and diploma in theatre technology, medical engineering, nutrition and dietetics, radiography and sonography, science lab, health records, environmental health science, counseling psychology, applied biology, social work and community development, information and communication technology, among others. Register now at our Nairobi campus in Nairobi West around Nyayo National Stadium on 0700-129536. Our Juja campus next to Jomo Kenyatta University on 0700-000760. And our Kisumu campus opposite Swan Center, Oginga Odinga Street on 0703-201229. Tricent School of Medical Health, Science and Technology.
Finca Properties Limited introducing Equator Gardens Phase 2 Nanyuki, a few minutes drive from Nanyuki town near Olpajeta Conservancy. This is a strategic property offering a homely, serene environment with nearby schools, hospitals, with a space for children playground and kindergarten. Invest today with a cash offer price of 200,000 for 50 by 100 plot and a discounted price of 350,000 for 100 by 100 plot of land. Legal fees and transfer costs inclusive. This is a gated control development property with water and electricity on site. We offer free site visit every Wednesday and Saturday. Visit our offices in Kitengela Pena Towers first floor. Contact us on 0721 737300 or SMS the word plot to 40309. Title deeds are ready. Finca Properties Limited. Pride and affordable.
Je, maumivu ya kichwa na kukosesha amani? Kaluma Strong hutuliza maumivu ya kichwa, maumivu ya mwili na hata uondoa joto jingi mwilini. Kaluma Strong ina aspirin kama kiungo. Maumivu ya kizidi, muone daktari.
Plaza Beach Hotel. We are located along the tranquil Bamburi Beach, 10 kilometers from Mombasa. Plaza Beach Hotel offers an outdoor pool, terrace, and tropical garden. We specialize in accommodation, conferencing, church retreats, corporate team building activities, and ear parties, massage parlor and spa services, and water sports activities. For booking and reservation, contact us on 0723 661 008 or email us at sales@plazabeach.co.ke or visit our website at www.plazabeach.co.ke. Welcome to Plaza Beach Hotel. Relax and let the breeze from the Indian Ocean massage your skin as you anchor deep in your swimming pool and experience authentic Kenyan hospitality. Plaza Beach
and the sweet Oreo cake dessert by Lillian. This year, we bring you bigger and better from more mouth-watering meals, kitchen hacks, restaurant dreams, and even street foods. Tune in to The Throwdown every Sunday at 6:30 p.m.
Welcome back. Now, the bodies of 3 people who perished after a boat they were traveling in capsized in Lake Baringo have been retrieved. The bodies were found floating near the shores of Lake Baringo after 3 days of search by divers from Lake Baringo. Among those who died are 2 sisters who were among 5 family members who were in a tour of Lake Baringo ahead of schools reopening early this week.
Tulikuwa kwenda lunch the main island na watoto walikuwa holiday yao mwisho waende shule on Monday. like para ni kufurahisha tu watoto ya mwisho, safari ya kujua ilikuwa safari ya mwisho kwa wao wengine. Mimi wito wangu sana serikali wangetusaidia reinforcement ya kurescue, kutafuta mwili, kwa sababu tuna divers, tunazo gases za kutoa kuingia kwa maji. Tulikuwa naomba usaidizi sana.
Vile nimesikia sasa hapa tumefanya training ya divers 10. Ama ni wangapi? Ya 10 ndio tumeweza kufanya training hapa. Lakini hiyo training ilifanya tuna wenyewe. Walijisaidia pamoja wakafanya training. Naona ya kwamba sasa tutafanya mpango pamoja na governor ili tuweze kutrain more than 20.
Tulijaribu kuenda first day 1 kutafuta miili, hatukupata. We had an unsuccessful mission. And day 2 tukafaulu sana. Tukapata miili 2 kuelekea upande wa northern part, miili 2 zote ya mtoto mdogo na ule kijana. Leo sasa tumeshughulika asubuhi saa 12 tulizunguka, tumeanza kuwa na wasiwasi. Lakini kitu masaa ya saa 6 hivi, saa 5 naelekea saa 6, Mungu akatujalia tukapata 3 kilometers part, southern part of the lake. Ilienda kando kabisa.
May their souls rest in eternal peace. Elsewhere, religious and political leaders in Eldoret have promised to join hands in preaching peace in Uasin Gishu County. This ahead of the 2022 polls. Our North Rift Region reporter Calvin Chitwa with the details.
Speaking at ACK Church Malel during a security meeting, the county commissioner has assured the residents that the government will address land challenge at Kipkaren area.
Already we have started arresting, so at least we are midway to achieve what we are looking to get what we are looking for.
He also said that sub-county peace committees have been revived and will work closely with elders and members of the community to address such matters ahead of 2022 elections.
Kiini cha hii mashida yote inazunguka kuhusu mambo ya mashamba.
The elders led by Alex Mursi, Kamunu Wakabari and retired Major John Sei urged communities to coexist peacefully while appealing to the government to address the issue of land grabbing that has continued to fuel conflicts in the area.
Watafute huyu mtu mmoja, chukuliwe hatua, sheria ifanye kazi yake ili wananchi wote ambao wanaishi katika Uasin Gishu wakae pamoja vile tulivyo.
Na wale wanafikiria mashamba hata ile wanalima huko na ni ya wenzao, tuko tayari kuanza kuyachunguza. Kuna wengi sana wanasumbua watu hata kwa society, na tumevumilia vilivyo.
Wachukue hatua haraka iwezekanavyo, because jambo likiachwa itaanza kuenea.
Uasin Gishu leaders led by Governor Jackson Mandago have decried police laxity, though assuring residents to go on with their activities, saying a repeat of 2007-2008 will not be witnessed.
Wale watu wote ambao kuna leading information inaelekezwa kwao, watafutwe, waandike statement.
Sababu si mara ya kwanza. Pale nyuma kulikuwa na leaflets pale kidogo, wakafanya namna hii ikapotea. Hii ingine imetokea, tutaki sasa ifanye namna hii ipotee. Ile ingine akinoti wanajifanya they don't know, we don't want. Hiyo mchezo wa kusema we don't know, if you are here and you don't know what you are supposed to be doing, then you are better off going to another station and we get officers who are committed to work with us to ensure there is cohesion in this county.
Calvin Chitwa, TV47, Uasin Gishu County.
Joseph Wekesa Simiyu Elias Majimbo Kalasinga is the Ford Kenya Party flag bearer in the upcoming Kabuchai by-election scheduled for the 4th of March this year. Wekesa garnered 70 votes against his opponent Eric Wanyonyi's 30 during the primaries held this morning through delegates at Musese CDF Hall in Kabuchai. Wanji Sostin with the details.
The Moses Wetangula-led Party for the Kenya held its primaries, which had attracted 2 contestants, Joseph Wekesa Simiyu alias Majimbo Kalasinga, who garnered 170 votes against Eric Wanyonyi, 32 votes. The results were declared by the party Director of Elections, Hadija Mustafa, who said the exercise was free and fair.
And our winner with a majority vote is Majimbo Kalasiria.
Ingia Kabuchai ukijua iko wanaume. Ingia Kabuchai ujue iko ndume.
Eric Wanyonyi considered the rest, stating that he will try his luck in 2022.
Mimi sina lingine. Nafikiri I'm still your son, I'm still your brothers. In the future we shall have a contest. Na kama itatokezea nitachimwaga kwa kinyang'anyiro tena.
Party leader Moses Masika Wetangula promised that the party will facilitate the flag bearer, saying that Majimbo is the best replacement of former Kabuchai MP James Lusweti Mukwe, who died recently.
Mheshimiwa Majimbo, tunakushukuru for getting more votes from these delegates.
From here is when the winner is going to be facilitated by the party to present the certificate of nomination to IEBC on the day they have set.
And with the ongoing wrangles within the party, Wetangula urged Wafula Munyenye's led faction to reunite and work together.
I want to extend an olive branch to the rebels in the party, the so-called coup plotters. Come back to the party, we work together. And hao wananchi wa Bungoma hawajapungukiwa na hekima na akili.
The by-election is slated on 4th of March this year, following the demise of the former MP James Lusweti Mukwe. Wanji Sostin for TV47, Bungoma.
Now, Teleposta pensioners living in houses belonging to the Telecommunication Corporation at Kileleshwa, Nairobi, have accused the telecommunication of allegedly and unlawfully evicting them from their houses. This comes as auctioneers stormed this morning their houses and took away properties of unknown value belonging to the pensioners for auction to cover alleged rent arrears. The pensioners have faulted the incident, insisting that the court had barred their removal from the houses until a verdict on whether their stay is lawful or not is issued.
George, umefika? Hii kesi ya hizi nyumba imekuwa kotini kuanzia mwaka wa 2007 up to today. Court order we have ilisema kabla ya hizi nyumba verdict yake ya mwisho iwe ruled na koti, hizi nyumba sisi tusiguzwe na tusifanye chochote.
Hatujakaa hizi nyumba bure. Nyumba tulipewa kama zimekuwa run down since 83. Tuko hapa. How many years are those? Sisi ni wazazi, sisi ni wanyanya, sisi ni watu wazima. Inauma. I feel so sad. Kwa sababu watu wanakuingilia mpaka kwa chumba, wanakuvunjia nyumba. Hatuna hata hela. Hiyo milango ya chuma tunatengezana nini? Tunaishi hapa kama paka na panya. Kisa na sababu hakuna ujirani mzuri. Kama mtu iko interested na hii plot ama mtu anataka, maana hii kesi ziko nyingi, si hapa Kileleshwa peke yake.
We are not working, we are not paid pension, and yet they still owe us so billions of money. Even cases have been at the Court of Appeal, they're supposed to pay us, but they haven't.
None of the houses that are owned lawfully had been broken into. What we had done, there was one store where when we are living distress, we always take proclamation. We take an inventory of what we are to attach. When we came here in the morning, when they realized we were coming, they removed those things and put them in another store, which is behind it there. So we had to break into that store, and the law allows me as an auctioneer in the presence of the police to break into the store and remove those goods.
Elsewhere, a group of young people have embarked on a journey from Nairobi to Mount Kenya region and back in a campaign to sensitize youth from across the country to rise up and compete for leadership positions. The group under the Vijana na Uongozi initiative plans to cycle for 700 kilometers and traverse the 10 counties in the central region, creating awareness on the negative effects of drug and substance abuse.
tuna idadi zaidi ya 70% kulingana na hesabu ambayo imetolewa na Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. Kwa hivyo inamaanisha kwamba iwapo vijana wataungana wenyewe na wapate kumteua mmoja, ana uwezo wa kuingia katika vitengo mbalimbali vya uongozi katika taifa hili, haswa katika uchaguzi ujao na katika chaguzi zingine zijazo, na ili vijana wakawa na sauti, kwa sababu ukiangalia katika bunge zetu, ipate ni kuwa katika bunge za county, ipate kuwa katika bunge ya kitaifa, unapata kwamba vijana ni wachache sana, lakini sisi ndio tuko na 70% katika wingi wa watu katika taifa la Kenya.
Pia kuna vijana wengi wamepotelea katika madawa, wengine wamepotelea katika anasa, wengine wamepotelea katika hali ngumu wakati huu, na tunajua si kwa mapenzi yao wengine, na wengine pia wameendelea kutumiwa na wanasiasa pia vibaya, lakini tunaamini ya kwamba tukiendelea na tukiwaimisha waamini, tukiendelea kuhamasisha na hashtag hii ambayo tunaitumia ni zamu yetu, watakubali na tutarudi.
Let's get to Rwanda, where business operations will close at 6 p.m. at least for the next 15 days as the government tightens measures to contain the spread of COVID-19. Transport to and from Kigali or between the districts has also been banned. Diana Iriza has more from Kigali, Rwanda.
Now, as it was promised 2 weeks ago by the Rwandan cabinet, another meeting was held yesterday, the 4th of January, to come up with resolutions on the COVID-19 situation here in Rwanda. Now, the numbers of COVID-19 cases have highly increased. Rwanda has registered a total number of 1,927 cases out of 8,848 tests reported since mid-March, with 105 death rates, a half of total deaths occurring only last month. According to a statement from the Prime Minister's office, the government will maintain the current curfew hours from 8 p.m. through 4 a.m. Also banned is both public and private transport to and from Kigali, as well as moving from one district to another. However, domestic tourists with a negative COVID-19 test result will be permitted to move across districts. The government also resolved that all social gatherings, including wedding ceremonies and celebrations of all kinds, are prohibited in both public and private settings. All business operations, including restaurants, markets,